Good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. I am Tim, back once again with my co-commentator, as always, Mansell, for the Austrian Grand Prix, where we have already been greeted by the sound of Mansell's barking dogs, the only interruption that could remotely be acceptable for a broadcast. Mansell, how are you doing today, and how are your doggos?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Sorry for the interruption from my dogs. I didn't realise that they were that loud, but yeah, I'm well. Thank you very much, and welcome back, Tim. Obviously, you weren't here last week, but you know it's good that you're back once again this week. So welcome back.
Yeah, last week I had to settle my taxes, so I was in the tax office about I'd say about 30 minutes before the race or so, and you know they say that the only two guarantees in life are death and taxes. Well, I got one of them out of the way already.
Good news for that then. We got this first one out. The Ferrari. Who is it? Mine? No, X-Gamer.
X-Gamer, of course, second in our points standings, and he has had a very great season. We talked about it, or third actually, excuse me, but we talked about it a little bit a couple weeks ago, to where X-Gamer last season, you know, he could barely get decent results. He did get one win, I believe, in China, but other than that, he really did not have the best of seasons. Then he just hits the ground running this season, wins the first race that he runs. Of course, he did not start in Bahrain, but he won in Portugal the following week, and then he followed that up with a podium in Canada, a DNS in Azerbaijan, a DNF in Imola, but then another podium in Spain, another win in Belgium, and then another podium in France. A very consistent driver, and he has got one heck of a championship battle that he's going to have to deal with, because just ahead of him, Train Game Wow, who got his first win last season, has 107 points to Jonas's 103 in second. X-Gamer, of course, with 102.
And if you have a look as well, with X-Gamer, in the points, every race he has finished so far, he's finished on the podium. So that's great consistency there for X-Gamer. If he finishes a race, he's going to be on the podium. And see if he can carry on with the form today.
Exactly. Maybe he can continue a little bit of a trend. We're seeing a little bit of a pattern here with the Ferrari driver, and I feel really good for him. I know that earlier on in the season he did have a few personal family issues that he had to settle, and I know that that was really hard on him, but I'm glad to see that he's able to keep his spirits up, at least it seems to, and that he's able to have a decent season.
Yeah, exactly. It's just nice that he's actually, that X-Gamer finally is where he should be, and right at the top, because he's a great guy. He's a great guy to talk to. I speak to him quite often, to be fair. Yeah, X-Gamer, he's a great guy to talk to. And it's good to see him actually fighting for a championship this season.
So X-Gamer, just a few more corners to go, and we'll see what kind of lap time he lays down as Odd Ivan goes quickest at 104.025. X-Gamer crosses the line. He will go to second, a 104.129. Langfell, a 104.609. Good enough for fourth, because D-Mac in the AlphaTauri, a 104.572.
And him goes even quicker, 1 minute 3.869. Look at the strategy around here as well. Soft, medium, soft. A soft, medium you can do as well. A lot of people are on mediums to begin with to start their qualifying, which you normally see, and then normally right at the end we'll see people, pretty much everyone will be on soft tyres at the end. But yeah, lap time target for fastest lap today, whole lap, I'll say 1 minute 3.1.
We'll see if you're correct, Mansell. I don't even want to make a prediction as far as the pole lap goes. I'll just save my predictions for the race.
As soon as that went off the field. Got Train Game with 6 to Jonas going up to 5th. Then Senna Furbar going up to 2nd. And then obviously, as you can see, the Senna Furbar's teammate, Tom Gaproff, has already DNF'd. That's because he does have to serve a quali ban today.
So taking a look now at Senna Martins in the Mercedes, we'll see what kind of a lap time he's able to lay down. Of course, unfortunate for Tom Gaproff that he does have to serve that quali ban, but you know, here's a little bit of a note, is that apparently he was supposed to serve it last week. He forgot. The admins here at SFR, being ever so gracious, allowed him a grace period of a week and told him, okay, you serve your quali ban in Austria and it's no problem. Had he not served that quali ban today, it would have been a disqualification. So just to give you a bit of an insight on the rules.
Yeah, so Thankfully, he has remembered, and he won't get disqualified today, as Toincoin has also retired in the session. I think he might have lost it in the final corner. I did see a yellow flag with a blue car there, so yeah, that's his qualifying over, unfortunately. But let's see if that 1 minute 4.089 is competitive enough to keep him in the top 10, maybe.
So looking at King David now in the Red Bull P2 last week. We'll see what kind of a lap time he can lay down using every bit of racetrack that he can. And, you know, we're already getting some fast laps, and we still have 12 and a half minutes about remaining.
Welcome, everyone. We've got 16 people watching the stream. I've never seen this many people streaming into a GP2 race before, so welcome, everyone. Welcome to GP2.
And you know, if we've got this many viewers during the qualifying, I hope you all stay for the race, because this race is going to be fantastic as King David goes to a 104.347. Just take a look at how close our lap times are in the top 5, top 6, top 7. If you love the qualifying, you're going to love the race with these close times. So don't worry, we will be here to keep you company the whole time.
Apparently you haven't got your tyre data on, Tim. As Bossy Gaming points out.
And we'll fix that here in just a moment as Norloser goes to P2, a 103.925. And as requested, here is our tire data. So soft tires for the majority of the field. A few drivers being brave, going out there on the medium tires. Son of Fubar, of course, a 104.003. The first driver on the medium tires. Not sure if that's the lap that he set, or the tire that he set that lap, his lap on. It looks like it was. So that is a very quick lap time for the medium tire around here, but it looks like he is going to attempt a lap on the soft compound tire. So we'll see what Son of Fubar does when he comes back out on the track. We'll take a look now at Norloser's teammate of Langfell in the Aston Martin. His best lap time, a 104.609. Definitely going to be looking to improve on that, but he does go purple in the first sector. So far so good on this lap.
Yep, Langfell, Aston Martin. He unfortunately didn't finish last race. I think he crashed out early stages, or something that I can remember. That he did retire in the early stages of last week. Hopefully he can turn that around and get back into the points in today's race. 2 tenths up.
So Langfell in the third and final sector now. And we'll see what he does through the final corner. Be very careful not to go too wide. It's a nice bank corner, so you can lean on that left front just a little bit. But as he crosses the line, he goes to 9th, a 104.266.
We've got X-Gamer on the lap, and he's about half a tenth up on his Sector 1 time.
Adams
P6.
Oh, and Adams in the Haas looks like he invalidated out of that final corner, unless he had already had an invalidation. Going to X-Gamer now. And we'll see what he's able to do. Yellow flag in Sector 3. Looks like that was an Alfa Romeo slowing down to let a competitor by.
Oh, Divine even goes up to pole with a 1 minute 3.827, about half a tenth. Not even that. Just under half a tenth quicker than Pim. It's game 2 tenths up.
And Pim's looking very fast, though. Look at how close he is to Otto Ivan's time. Just separated by a few hundredths of a second.
Gamer might just get into 1 minute 3s. No, most definitely will. 2 tenths quicker than on Divine. 1 minute 3.6 for him.
So, what do you think, Mansell? How safe is X-Gamer at the top spot with that time?
Yeah, 1 minute 3.6. It definitely looks very safe. My prediction was 1 minute 3.1. I'm going to put that down a bit, up a bit actually, and say 1 minute 3.4. Instead, I think 1 minute 3.1 is going to be a bit too quick for these guys. Maybe 1 minute 3.1, probably a GP1 kind of time. But we've got to Jonas now. He's put through the final corner now. And he goes up to third, 1 minute 3.8. But yeah, how safe is this game on that run at the moment? I think it's competitive for a top 5. I don't think it's good enough for pole position just yet. Obviously, he's still got time to do another lap, so of course, I'm sure he'll be able to try and improve on that lap time.
So looking at Mauser now in the Haas, a 104.201 is his best lap time. in Sector 2 now, so we'll see what kind of a time he's got at the end of this sector. Mauser, of course, we'll take a look at his standings here in just a second. Mauser, of course, not having the best of seasons that he could. He finds himself in the 11th position, but he still has 31.5 points. So that's not completely terrible as far as, all things go.
I think he's actually on another out lap. He's about to begin a lap now because it's just going to be into the mid-20s. So he's just started his lap now, actually.
We seem to be having some scoring errors. It's saying that he's got 1 lap on the tires on my screen, so I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yeah, he might have done 2 out laps. He might have messed up in his first run, so he slowed down and he's going again. Might be right.
Well, regardless, we'll watch Mauser's lap and see what he's able to do. He's in the 2nd sector now. So this is about where we picked him up last time. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the qualifying session. Plenty of time for this track to get nice and rubbered up, and for those drivers to get out there and set a fast lap. Can anyone beat X Gamer's 103.676? We'll have to wait and see at the end of 6 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah, Mauser not really improving on his time at the moment.
Wow, did you see that, Mansell? A big wiggle from Mauser.
Oh, yeah, he backed off in the lap as well. I didn't see it because I wasn't on board with him. But yeah, I can see that he's definitely made a big mistake there.
He clipped the curb, and the curb almost sent him around.
Oh, right, yeah, you don't really want to touch that curb quite a lot. Senna's disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
And I bet what happened was that he spun out of turn number 1 right in front of the pit exit, and, the game deemed it that he was blocking the pit lane. It is a glitch, I guess you could say, that unfortunately we cannot control.
Yep, just unfortunate again. It's annoying to get disqualified. It's completely out of your control. It's that, and I think the other one is when you spin and then you're going backwards towards the track. Try to spin round, and then the game just disqualifies you for absolutely no reason when you're actually trying to spin round instead. Very annoying, but...
So Mamba was on a lap. He decides to go back into the pits, not happy with how the lap was turning out. Trying to find someone who is on a flying lap at the moment. We do have Crowhawk, though, on an out lap. Looks like he's about to start his flying lap. And we haven't even taken you around a lap of the circuit. So we're going to do that right now on board with Crowhawk. It's an uphill turn 1. You can use a little bit of curve there, but be very careful. You don't want to spin and block the pit exit like we've already seen has become problematic for one of our drivers. Now, this is a bit of a long straightaway, bit of a little turn, however you want to call it, but regardless, it is heavy braking into the hairpin of turn 3, and then it is a downhill portion of this racetrack as you go into turn number 4, and you want to get on the brakes maybe just a touch earlier than what you would expect to through this corner to make sure that you can make it. You can use a little bit of curve both on the inside and the outside, as you saw Crowhawk do both times. And you can use some curve going into this corner as well. You don't want to touch the inside curve too much. You saw Crowhawk just barely nick it, and he had to correct the wheel just a touch. Now, this was the curve that got Mauser just a couple of laps ago. Crowhawk was able to find some grip there, but that is not always the case. And Crowhawk using the inside line, bypassing the pit entrance, and was that an invalidation, though? I think he might have cut the curve just a little too much. Yes, he did. Otherwise, it might have been a pretty decent lap. It would have been a 103.8.
Yeah, that would have been P3. That would have been 3.811, I think it was. So that would have put in P3.
So Odd Ivan, who held the provisional pole for the first half of this qualifying session, is now in P3 with a 103.827. He's on his flying lap and looks like he is purple in the first sector. Let's see if he's going to be purple in the second and third sectors. Odd Ivan, of course, one of the faster drivers here in GP2 this season, but he's going to have to best Son of Fubar's 103.559 if he's going to want to sit on the pole today. Of course, Odd Ivan, as we take a look at our point standings, he finds himself in P8 with 53 points, has 1 podium, and that came in France just a couple of weeks ago. So other than that, it's really not been the best of seasons, you could say, for Odd Ivan. I mean, I don't want to say that he's had a bad season. It's just he has not yet gotten the podiums that we expected him to get.
Yeah, he goes up to P2 as well. Well, this is where we did this to Morris as well. We said in France, Morris hasn't. We thought Morris had gone into like the midfield pack, and then he came up with the win in that race. As Audivine was from P2, so this is where Audivine now finally wins the race.
Maybe so, and of course, I believe it was the Mexican Grand Prix from last season that Audivine was able to steal the victory from there, and he was quite happy with his result. I'm sure you can imagine. So. Definitely looking to get back to form. But Langfell on a lap, and looks like Red Bull's actually passed him, so maybe Langfell is not going to have the fastest of laps this time around. Which Red Bull was that? Well, whichever one it was, they are on an out lap. Is it King David? Yes, it is. So King David on his out lap is faster than Langfell on his flying lap.
X-Gamer is about to begin his lap now. Down to turn 1.
So there definitely is, on my screen anyway, an issue with the scoring to where it's saying that X-Gamer does have a lap.
He did the second out lap. I was watching the whole time. He did the second out lap.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, man. See, this is why we got the co-commentators.
Exactly that.
And Audivine retired from the session. Did he wreck out, or was that into the pits? It looks like it might have been in the pits.
Into the pits, yeah. So he's had enough in qualifying. He thinks he can do what he can, and that's him done. And now he can just concentrate on his race.
Well, he doesn't have very long until he has to wait for the race. Just over a minute and 40 seconds remaining in the qualifying session as we watch X-Gamer third in the points. Huh?
This is going to be close. This is going to be close for pole. He's only about a tenth up. Pole lap's 1 minute 5:59. It's going to be close between the Son of Ferber and X-Gamer. He's come through the final corner, nearly invalidates, but keeps it on the track legally, and he goes third with a 1 minute 6.629. So he's lost a little bit of time in sector 3 there.
And Son of Fubar is on his out lap. We got D-Mac on a lap right now, so we'll take a look at the AlphaTauri driver. He is in the second sector, so we'll see what his times compare to once he gets to the end of this sector. Yellow flag in sector 1. That is, I think, just X-Gamer slowing down a little bit on his in-lap, you could say.
Yeah. And championship leader, Train Game Well, that's his qualifying done. He's come into the pits, so he'll be starting from P7, at least.
So D-Mac might have an okay lap here. He might have got a little bit of slipstream off of the Red Bull ahead of him. But as he crosses the line, will he improve his time? He goes to P10, a 104.153. A small improvement, but definitely an improvement.
Yeah, D-Mac. He is a new driver for SFR. For those of you who don't know, he was racing in yesterday's race, GP3 race. Pretty good job. Got in the top 5. So yeah, let's see how D-Mac gets on today.
So looking at Bossy Gaming on his flying lap, currently P8 with a 104.079. We'll see what he's able to do on what will likely be his final lap. In fact, it is going to be his final lap because qualifying is over. He crosses the line. Does he improve? No, he does not. He will do no better than 8th. We got Son of Fubar on a lap. Let's see if he's going to do any better than a 103.559. That's the pole time right now. Son of Fubar provisional pole. Could be legitimate pole here in just a few moments' time.
Yeah, Mamba goes up to P7, 1 minute 3.8. Got these guys getting to the 1 minute 3s now. King David's next across the line.
To Jonas looking good in P4 with a 103.846 in that Alpine. And of course, speaking of Alpine, they do find themselves at the top of the constructor standings with McLaren in second and Alfa Romeo in third, 149 to 128 and 126 points respectively for our top 3 in the constructors. Son of Fubar, as he's going to cross this line, is he going to improve his lap time? No, he's not. He has slowed down a bit, and he probably doesn't care because it looks like he's going to get the pole anyway with a 103.559.
That's going to be it. Verper on pole.
So what you see is what you get. McLaren's going to be starting this race from the top spot. Then AlphaTauri and Ferrari, your top 3, with Jonas and Pim, your top 5.
Yeah, so surprisingly, Train Game down in P9, the championship leader, especially how close it is in the championship at the moment between X-Gamer, Jonas and Train Game, all within about 5 points of each other. We're halfway through in the season as well now. But yeah, quite surprised there from Train Game, only P9. But of course, no points for qualifying, only for the race.
And your official starting lineup for the Speed Force Racing's GP2 Series Austrian Grand Prix is Son of Fubar in first, On Ivan in second, X-Gamer in third, to Jonas in fourth, Pim in fifth, Norloser in sixth, seventh is Mamba, King David in eighth, ninth is Train Game Wow, 10th is Bossy Gaming, Toincoin in 11th, DMAC in 12th, 13th is Mauser, Langfell in 14th, Martin in 15th, Crowhawk in 16th, 17th is Adams, Tom Goproff in 18th, and then 19th is Senna Martin. So very interesting that because of Senna Martin's disqualification, that Tom Goproff, serving a quali ban, still does not start last place. But that's not his fault.
Yeah, no. And everyone who set a lap time, so from P1 to P16, are all in the second of each other. Crowhawk, I think, qualified in 16th place, and the final runner to set a lap time was 0.995 from a second off from P1 of Son of Urbar. So again, so close in qualifying in GP2.
And now it is time for you and I, and of course the chat, to get our top 3 predictions in. And in any order, I'm going to have to go with Son of Fubar, X-Gamer, and let's throw in On Ivan. That might just be our top 3 anyway. But in any order, I'm going to have to go with them. I'm
going to go with one safe option, which is X-Gamer, because obviously looking at his record at the moment, finishing every race he's been on a podium. So X-Gamer is going to be one of mine. I'm going to go with... I've got to go with Train Game Wow, and then Son of Furbar. That'd be sort of my top 3 in any order.
And looks like someone might have readied up a little bit too quickly, so I'd say there might be a few drivers that are a little upset that they did not get their strategy chosen. Hopefully, though, they do. It's going to be 36 laps around this circuit, and I do believe that that's the most laps that we run on a season because this circuit is so short. You know, you've seen the lap times. They're running 1:03s, so I think 36 laps is the most, and wow, Son of Fubar really cleaning those tires.
You are right, Tim. If we did have Monaco on this season, which we don't, then it would have been Monaco, because Monaco does 39 laps.
I'm glad we don't have Monaco on the season, personally. Monaco is just... It's more tradition. This is going to be a really hot take, but it's more tradition than an actual race anymore, in my opinion. And I think that it's just...
Yeah, it is.
It's hurting the sport. Not because of Monaco, but just because the cars are too big. You cannot race there. If you could actually race there, it'd be great.
But you never know. It might be better racing now with all this dirty air pretty much gone, as we can see from the first 3 races now. You can definitely tell the difference with the dirty air now from last season. So hopefully we'll see better racing in Monaco this season. At least 2 overtakes, and I think we only got 1 overtake last season in Monaco. So hopefully we'll see more than 1 this season.
So the drivers finding their appropriate positions on the grid, and On Ivan and Son of Fubar, they got a little bit further ahead than everyone else, so it's going to be a minute.
Yeah, but of course their tire temperatures all lock in as soon as the AI take over, so they will not lose any temperature while on the grid. I know that was in last year's. I'm pretty sure it is the same in this year's as well. So that is a benefit of the game, is that you don't have to wait and lose temperature while waiting for everyone to line up. As soon as the AI take over, that's it, your tire temperatures are locked in.
The liberties of sim racing and esports. But looks like the final driver has found his appropriate position on the grid, and we are ready to go. The top 11 on soft compound tires, then a mix of strategies with the rest of the field. And you hear those engine driving, you hear those engine pedal feet. The drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air and no red lights. We are green for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series Austrian Grand Prix. Son of Fubar gets a fantastic start. No challenge going into turn number 1. On Ivan in second, but X-Gamer side by side with to Jonas. We got it out for a Mayo in the back, going a little bit wide. X-Gamer clears to Jonas, goes up in the third, to Jonas in fourth. So now X-Gamer has got to defend against that Alpine car as we ride on board with to Jonas through the hairpin. And Son of Fubar had a little bit of a wiggle up there in the front. It was a 3, almost 4 wide situation around the 10th position for Train Game Wow, Bossy Gaming, DMAC, a lot of cars in that kerfluffle. And already we got an Alpine off. We got 2 cars wrecking. Toincoin is off.
Toincoin and DMAC, that seems like.
And that we're under a virtual safety car. I dare say that is going to be a safety car. Hey, look at
Yes,
that, a
it
safety
is.
car. So, I think it's pretty sad when the F1 game throws safety cars in more appropriate times and quicker than the real-life FIA, but that's for another day. Just wanted to point that part out. Otherwise, Son of Fubar, Odd Ivan, X Gamer, your top 3.
Yeah, that, even though they are react lesser than in real life, I think that would have still been a safety car in real life, just because where Toin Coin DNF'd right on the racing line, really, on a fast straight as well, so it's a no-brainer for a safety car, I would say.
And
But we should get away pretty shortly, because obviously everyone's already very close to each other.
Oh, yeah, and, I was going to ask you about pit strategy, but with it only being the first lap, obviously not a lot of drivers are going to pit. Of course, you do see a handful of them deciding to make a pit stop. Of course, D-Mac obviously going to have to make that stop, otherwise it looked like Cinna Martins and Tom Goproff pitted as well, so maybe they got some damage that they had to fix, or maybe they just decided to get a pit stop while they had the chance.
Yeah, I just got the predicted pit stop strategy, and the game saying that it's an easy soft-medium strategy, or a medium-hard strategy, but it does seem like soft-medium will be the better strategy to use. So it looks like an easy soft-medium strategy today.
So your top 3, actually your top 5, if not top 6 or 7, has really not changed. Of course, it's only lap 2, and we are under safety car, but it is Son of Fubar, Odd Ivan, and X Gamer. So with us just riding around under the safety car for these few laps, Mansell, what's going through your mind as a driver, because you are certainly a more experienced driver than I, when you have an early safety car like this? Because mid-race, when a safety car comes out, your automatic reaction is pit, go for soft tires, or whatever you have to do. But on the first lap, how does it change your thought process?
It just feels like just a second kind of start again, but it's this safety car's early on. If I was like outside the top 10, I might change my strategy. So if I was starting on the softs, I might change to a medium strategy instead, or if I was starting on the hards, I would also change to a medium strategy. It does seem like the medium strategy is the best way to go at any circuit in a 50% race. But that's what I would do. If I was starting in the top 10, which I rarely do these days now, I would just keep doing what I'm doing and probably just stay on the softs, just because of track position is probably more important. Whereas if you're starting outside the top 10, track position, I don't think it really matters. I think you just got to get on strategy if you're outside of the top 10.
Well, at least this has bunched the field back up, and D-Mac, unfortunately being involved in that incident, at least finds himself, even though he's at the back of the pack, he finds himself right up against the pack. And was that the message saying the safety car is coming in this lap, or am I seeing things, man?
Sorry, say that again.
Was that the message that said the safety car is coming in this lap, or am
Yes,
I?
yeah, it is. Yeah, I did see it.
All right.
So the third bar is now the lead safety car.
So we'll ride on board with Odd Ivan. See what kind of a jump Son of Fubar can get on him, if any jump at all. Son of Fubar, of course, controls this start, has a little bit of a wiggle there. Son of Fubar very aggressive with the swerving and cleaning off those tires and keeping the heat in them. And Odd Ivan trying to get a little bit trigger happy there.
I saw a front wing flying off from a car. I don't know who it was, but someone's got front wing damage.
Thought for a minute it might have been Odd Ivan. It is not, though. He does still have an intact front wing, at least what we can see. He finds himself in P2, but XAM are getting very close to him here. Might have an opportunity to get underneath him in turn 3, but he's going to run out of straightaway, so he's going to have to follow Odd Ivan through. Maybe he can get him into turn number 4, but XGamer having a big wiggle there out of the hairpin, but he still finds himself quicker than Jonas behind him.
And it's Norluser with the front wing damage. I found the guy who got the front wing damage, and that is Norluser in the S10. He's probably P6 as well.
So Norluser, he will likely see him come into the pits here very soon, and I guess in a way lucky for him that it happened so early in the race, but if we don't get another safety car, then it's really not going to matter. So Norluser, Mansell, as a driver, if that happens to you, if you're Norluser right now, do you pit for the hard compound tires?
Hard. It depends if you can get on with the tyres. Some people like the hard tyres, some people don't. I personally don't like the hard tyres, so I would just change to a medium strategy, just because I don't like using the hard tyres.
Well, Son of Fubar ran the fastest lap that time, but not without a lot of pressure from Odd Ivan, who has pretty much kept the gap fairly consistent with 0.3 of a second separating these two drivers, and Odd Ivan using that slipstream to get a little bit closer. Not going to have an opportunity on him this time. I'd say that Odd Ivan especially is waiting for the DRS to be activated so that he can finally use it to his advantage.
Yeah, if Son of Fubar wants to get an easy win, then he has to get out of that one. Well, it has to be over 1 second of Odd Ivan, because it is difficult to defend with these 3 long DRS zones around Austria. It is very difficult to defend.
Now, from what I'm seeing in these early stages, I would say that Odd Ivan is just a little bit quicker than Son of Fubar. Overall, these top 3 cars are the class of the field as I'm seeing right now. But Odd Ivan, I do believe, has a touch more speed than that McLaren. Maybe he's getting the benefit of the slipstream on the long straightaways, or maybe he's just a touch quicker. But regardless, once that DRS is active, Odd Ivan is going to be ready to go, and now it is active.
Yeah, so this is where we'll start seeing a lot of the overtakes coming in now. Son of Fubar puts the better exit out turn 1, but with slipstream and DRS, Odd Ivan's going to pull that gap in right. No problems, and he's going to actually go for the attack, or he was.
He had an opportunity, probably could have filled that hole on the inside line, but it's very early on in the race, lap 6 of 36. That's a move that maybe you would expect with 6 laps to go instead of 6 laps in. So Odd Ivan being very patient here, knowing that he will be able to get Son of Fubar, he'll have another opportunity.
Maybe Odd Ivan is keeping behind just to see what Son of Fubar's pace is like. As Son of Fubar's made a mistake as well, so it might give him a chance once again. Maybe, yeah, like I was saying, Son of Fubar maybe just staying behind to see what Son of Fubar's pace is like, and maybe just keep him behind because he might be happy with the kind of pace that Son of Fubar's doing right now. Or if not, Odd Ivan will probably trying to get the overtake done and try and pull away from Son of Fubar.
And of course, if Odd Ivan is confident that he is that much faster than Son of Fubar, then
no losers out, safety car.
The second safety car around here, so unfortunate for Norloser. Had the wing damage on that restart, and now he's got, well, bigger problems than that.
Yeah, out of turn 4 that is. So maybe side by side with somebody. And yeah, he's wrecked out. Maybe with the Red Bull, there's a Red Bull coming in, so it might have been Mamba.
It was just starting to get good too, Mansell.
Yes. Yeah, I was looking forward to this.
And Odd Ivan, they were having a great battle. X-Gamer and Jonas, they were starting to get closer as well. The top 4 had pretty much broken away from the rest of the pack, and then we get a safety car.
Yeah. Now this might be the difficult choice for Son of Fubar. Does he come in or not?
I don't. That is a very good question. Honestly, I kind of feel like you could. I think you could do it and get away with it because he's fairly close to his operating window.
He's going in. Yeah, he's in. Odd Ivan is staying out. Same as X-Gamer. Jonas is in. Oh, this is now going to turn into a strategy game. This is turning into a strategy game now.
And if I remember correctly, in France, Odd Ivan actually stayed out and got track position and ultimately ended up finishing the race in 3rd. So, you know, who knows? Maybe Odd Ivan staying out and getting this track position. Ultimately, it's just 1 place, but hey, 1 place is still the place that he needs. Maybe that's going to put him in a good position later on to capitalize on this strategy. Yeah,
he's saying it was Son of Fubar now. It is more of the easier tracks to overtake on, and only if you're not stuck in a DRS train. So you're in that DRS train, you can't do anything. But yeah, it's difficult with Son of Fubar. It depends if he's got the pace on these medium tyres and gets these overtakes done quickly and just stay within Odd Ivan and X-Gamer. If he do that, then he'll be in a good position towards the end of the race.
And, you know, Son of Fubar, he's got the freshest tires of anybody out here on the grid, joined by a few drivers who pitted under that safety car. Yeah. So the big important factor for him, though, is that he's ahead of all those drivers. So everyone in front of him has got older tires than he does. And he was the pole sitter. So we know Son of Fubar is fast. And like you said, this track, you can actually overtake here. So Son of Fubar, this pit stop, even if it wasn't the ideal strategy call, it might not come back to hurt him. Now, we don't know if it's the ideal call or not. Only time's going to tell us that. But what we do know is that those top 3 drivers are going to have to pit, I'd say, what, 3 or 4 laps or so after they go back green?
Yeah, about that. Obviously, because I was racing yesterday, I started on all soft tyres. There's no safety cars in the early stages, but after about lap 10, my tyres were starting to die. I was starting to lose time, so I decided to stop at lap 11. But obviously, with these safety cars, they're losing less tyre wear. So maybe about lap 12, we start to see the soft tyres soft runners start to struggle. Yeah, I think lap 12-ish will probably be where the soft runners will start to pit. So mainly for train game while X Gamer on quite a mine.
Now, the fact that we have had 2 safety car periods does give their tires a little bit of breathing room there. So while you're thinking that, you could go about lap 10 or 12, maybe we could see these drivers stretch it to about lap 13, 14, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But regardless, we know that they're going to have to pit fairly soon, and Son of Fubar looks to be in prime position to capitalize on that. The big question is, how is Son of Fubar's tire wear going to be on this next green flag stint? And is he going to be able to handle those tires? Because, at this point, I'm assuming that Son of Fubar is going to try to go to the end. So that puts him at almost 20 laps on those medium tires. That's a lot of laps, but it is a short track, so I do believe it's doable.
Yeah, I think medium can pretty much last at least 75% of the race distance. So yeah, I think it's doable.
And on Ivan, the control car, and he gets to decide when they go. X Gamer pulling a Max Verstappen on him, but Odd Ivan, he gets the jump on him and already puts 0.3 of a second between the 2 drivers, and we are back racing in Austria. P3 of Train Game Wow, he's not letting these drivers out of their sight, but we got a side-by-side battle. Crowhawk and Cinna Martin's 2 teammates there for a brief moment were fighting together, and Cinna Martin's, he started in the last position. He's found himself in top 5 already, and these are the tires that he started on, so Cinna has been just moving through the pack. Now it's Martin and Langfeld battling side by side in the hairpin. Langfeld with the moment on that outside line is able to clear Martin down the straightaway, but will Martin be able to go for a gap on the inside line? He's using the slipstream to his advantage, but he cannot make the move. So Martin's going to stay in P7. Behind him there was some jostling around for position as well, and on Ivan looks like he's off, but also we got the Williams of Pim who is off. So quite a few drivers are off now.
Yeah, contact between Bossy Gaming and Pim, trying to go side by side towards turn 4. Bossy Gaming kind of gave Pim the squeeze, and they were both off, and now they've lost quite a lot of positions, but neither of them have spun out, so they, of course, can carry on.
And X Gamer, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I don't understand where that came from. It did not look like he cut the corner.
I didn't even know he overtook our Divine for the lead, but hey ho, he has, so he's got 3 seconds to deal with now.
And I definitely do want to look back on the footage after this race, because I truly do not believe that X Gamer cut the corner that time. So I want to know where that time penalty came from. What is F1 2021? What is their decision-making process behind that? Even though it's not an actual person that's making these decisions.
I think I do understand why. You get these penalties because obviously you're pretty much off the track.
In a side-by-side battle in contact, Crowhawk and Train Game Wow and Cinna Martin's 3-car battle for the 3rd position. Cinna has to back out of it. Train Game Wow underneath of Crowhawk, but has to back out of it as well. And now Cinna Martin's back underneath of Train Game Wow, but he has a bit of a wiggle. Is he going to spin off? Yes, he does. Yes. He spins off. He stays alive, though. He stays alive. Cinna Martins, he has not crashed out. He has just crashed off the track. But Crowhawk finds himself in P3, Train Game Wow, in P4, Langfeld now in P5, and DRS has been activated. Cinna Martin's definitely going to be pulling into the pits this time.
Yeah, Son of Fubar also doing well. He's still with them. He's in P6, looking to make a move on Langfeld, but again, like I said, he's in the DRS train, so he can't really do anything.
And a side-by-side battle for the lead. Odd Ivan goes underneath of X Gamer, but will he be able to clear him out of turn 3? No, he does not. X Gamer fighting back hard. They're side-by-side. They're going to be neck and neck going into turn number 4. There's Odd Ivan looking out the back of X Gamer. X Gamer got the DRS on Odd Ivan, barely cleared him into turn number 4, still left him a little bit of room, and X Gamer was able to use that momentum to his advantage on the outside and get ahead of Odd Ivan, so move him up into the first position.
Yeah, good move, but looking at these two at the moment, Odd Ivan's not going to give up. I think he will try and get the move done once again on next lap.
Now he's going to have some DRS down that front straightaway, so we'll keep looking out the back of the Ferrari and see what kind of a run Odd Ivan's going to be able to get, except we have a safety car, and I saw that one coming. So D-Mac, he has crashed out in the right around the transition of the second and third sector.
Yep, just in the middle of the third sector, he's actually done it. But yeah, now this gives a good opportunity for the soft to come in and go on to the medium tyres. Son of Furbar shouldn't lose any positions really. He should be pretty much be at least P3. Frohawk and Langfeld, I'm not expecting them to pit just yet. So I think Son of Furbar will go up to P3. The train gamer, Odd Ivan, and X Gamer should be coming in now. And yeah, back to like you were saying, with X Gamer's 3-second penalty. I think I think it's a bit stupid that you only get 3 warnings and then you get that penalty. I think what they do in real life, I think you get 5 or 6 warnings before you actually get a penalty. Hopefully they introduce that something like that for next year's game. You get it on the 5th or 6th warning. That's probably more realistic.
He picked it up in this corner right here, though. This corner right here is where he picked it up, and I don't understand what it is about that corner that gave him the time penalty, because it doesn't really look like you can abuse the curb on the inside very much.
No, you can't. You can't. Oliver did it yesterday. He was right behind me when he did it. He went literally all 4 tyres off all 4 tyres went off the track there and on the inside curb, and he spun because obviously the car didn't like it. And yeah, he spun. So yeah, I don't get that either, to be fair.
I'd really love to see X Gamer's point of view from that, and it's just bugging me at this point because I want to know where it came from. Because I was watching it, I saw it plain as day. As far as I could tell, that was not an abuse of track limits.
Yeah, you're really gonna hope now that X Gamer finishes on the podium, just so you can questioning him on that.
Oh yeah, don't let me forget. If we're talking to X Gamer after the race, I'll ask him. So Crowhawk stayed out. He inherits the lead. Langfeld in second. Son of Fubar in P3 with Martin and Tom Goprofi top 5. The safety car is coming in this lap, so thankfully it's a nice short, a nice short safety car period.
Lap. Yeah, that was only like 1 lap, I'm pretty sure. Very short.
Hey, I'm all for that. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's lasting. That lasted less time than the caution periods at Bristol Motor Speedway in a Cup race. So I'm all for that.
Provo, it's actually leading.
So Crowhawk, Langfeld, Son of Fubar, you top 5, riding on board with Langfeld. We'll see what kind of a jump that Crowhawk can get. Of course, he is the control car, so he gets to decide when we start this race, as long as it's before the start-finish line, and he was a little cheeky there. He waited until he was in the corner. Langfeld was not in the best position to throttle up as soon as he could have, so therefore Crowhawk does get a little bit more of a gap put between him and Langfeld, and both of these drivers are on 14-lap-old medium tires, but Son of Fubar, just behind him, is going to be storming past them, I'm sure, here very shortly, because he's only got 6 laps on those medium tires, and I'd say that after 6 laps on those tires and a safety car period, those medium tires are probably right at the optimal temperature.
Yep, they sure are. The Son of Furbo will be looking to get past these two as soon as he can, and hopefully he can pull away, and then it'll be a pretty easy win. Without safety car, of course, and it depends if he's actually going to come in right at the end, but I don't think he will. I think he'll be able to carry on these set of tyres.
Well, you say without safety cars, but we're not even halfway through the race and we've already had 3.
Yeah, true point. But of course, more safety cars we have, the less people we have in the race. We would have lost 4 people.
Tom Goproff, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Tom Goproff finds himself in the 5th position at the moment, and now is when it all starts to happen. All the time penalties starting to rack up, and Son of Fubar still very close to the Aston Martin, but not able to do much with it.
Yeah, Langfell is also getting some tips and some pro walk, so that helps him defending against Son of Fubar, but of course DRS will be enabled next lap. And that's when we'll start seeing all the overtakes coming in again.
A little bit of contact between Mamba and Mauser through turn number 3. Mamba just barely pushed that Haas car wide, but hey, no harm, no foul. Everybody got away nice and clean. No wing damage on anybody, so it is okay. A little bit of rubbing is the name of the game, I guess you could say, but very, very limited when it comes to these cars, especially with how flimsy those front wings are.
Yeah, true point. Son of Fubar, he's all over the back. We've got someone round. Who's that? Bossy Gaming's round.
Unfortunate for Bossy Gaming, just for some reason cannot seem to get the podiums that he needs, but Son of Fubar might have a run on Langfell down the front straightaway. DRS is enabled this time, so he will have it out of turn number 1. He had a look on the inside in turn number 1, but not able to really complete that pass or even have an attempt at it. But now he's got the DRS, and he should at least have a run on that Aston Martin. The thing is, though, is he is stuck in a, guess what, Mansell, a chugga-chugga-choo-choo train, because Langfell has got the, and he gets into the back of Langfell,
no.
He spins him around, and now Son of Fubar, he's got wing damage 3 wide out of turn number 3, and Langfell is dropping back, and now the Ferrari of Martin has found himself into the 2nd position. Langfell trying to fight back, Son of Fubar in 3rd. Langfell going underneath of Son of Fubar through turn number 4, and Son of Fubar went just a touch wide there. He does not have wing damage, though.
Yeah, he might have got away with that. It didn't look like quite a bit of contact between them two. Surely he's got wing damage. He looks like he's losing time to Martin, so he might have got wing damage. I think he does. He's pulling to the right-hand side.
Yeah, he does. Look at the right side. I think you can see a little bit on the right side. The end plate is there. Everything looks intact. But, of course, just because it looks intact from our view does not mean that it is okay. And, we got a wreck. Who was that spinning around? That is X-Gamer.
X-Gamer and Pim. X-Gamer's lost his front wing.
And we're under safety car conditions again, Mansell.
So, X-Gamer and Pim has both lost their front wing from contact between them two. The separate incident there. Mauser goes onto the hards, but this helps to Jonas and Train Game usually in the championship wise, as one of their main rivals has lost their front wing, but of course he can come into the pits and put another fresh set of tyres on, but that's not really ideal for X-Gamer. But I guess he is thankful that there is a safety car, so he doesn't lose too much time.
So X-Gamer at least will be able to pit. And we've been watching him drive around this track with no front wing, and honestly, I think that might be why we are under the safety cars, just simply because his front wing came off. It seems that sometimes when the entire front wing is off, that will bring out a safety car condition.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 cars with no front wing. It's got Pim as well. Also with no front wing.
So does that mean that we're under a double safety car?
Possibly. I'll be 2 laps in the safety car.
It certainly feels like it, I'll tell you that. It's the 4th safety car, and we just now surpassed the halfway point.
Yep. It's also how Son of Fubar with this safety car as well. He's come back into it.
You realize, Mansell, that if we keep going at the rate we're going, it's going to be an 8 safety car race.
It will be. I think there's actually a limit of how many safety cars can come out during a race. I think it depends. Some kind of settings. It depends what kind of safety car you've got it on. So if you've got it on increased, I think you get 9 safety cars. If you have it on standard, you get 7 safety cars. And if you have it on reduced, you have about 5 safety cars. So it depends. So there is a limit of how many times a safety car comes out during a Grand Prix. I think we have the safety car on standard, so there will only be a maximum of 7 safety cars during this Grand Prix. We're on the 4th one already.
Well, okay then. So 7 safety cars instead of 8, but still, we only passed halfway, and it's 4 safety cars. I think that is a record.
Yeah. Can't remember the last time we had a 4 safety car under only halfway through.
I can't remember the last time we had a 4 safety car race.
But, well, yeah. Thankfully, it's not at a track like Belgium or something, because otherwise it will take forever to get back underway. And thankfully, it's actually at the pretty much shortest race of the season. Well, it is at the shortest race of the season. Shortest lap race of the season, anyway.
I think Baku is the longest track, right? So I think that if it was around Baku, it'd be really bad. Or Singapore, maybe. One of those.
It could be Singapore, right? Yeah. Could be Singapore. Because the safety car will be slower because there's less straights and all that as well.
Yeah, that actually is a good point. Singapore track very infamous for just how curvy it is, and yeah. I'd say it's a pain for a lot of drivers. Both real life and esports, not limited to Nelson Piquet Jr., of course.
Yeah, when Singapore first came out, they called it the Monaco 2.0 Grand Prix because that's what they said that they would. It's pretty much a different kind of Monaco Grand Prix, different kind of layout. It's like a Monaco Grand Prix but in a different country. I think they called it something like the Monaco GP2. Anyway.
See, that was quite a few years before I started watching Formula One, but
yeah.
I was watching videos, I'd say a couple years ago, on the Singapore Grand Prix, and I learned of the infamous Singapore slingshot, or no, it was the Singapore catapult. It was the chicane that pretty much just sent every car airborne.
3-corner chicane, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I think, got McLaren now, Senna Furbar's out.
What happened there? We have seen him swerve aggressively under safety car conditions. I'm wondering if maybe it came back to bite him.
Maybe so. Romain Grosjean. Maybe Ericsson hit him.
You say that as we go on board with Train Game Wow, who is driving an Alfa Romeo. And if you remember, Marcus Ericsson was in
the Alfa Romeo, yeah.
Well, I think it was Sauber at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Sauber.
Same team.
Yeah.
Just like
King
Aston Martin's Force India.
King David's going to have a look at Train Game Wow. Going to try and go around the outside. Nearly hits the back of his teammate. And he might get King David is going to get the better exit because it's obviously going to be shorter, straight, high up, and he can get done on Train Game Round. Wow. Right round the outside of Train Game Wow as well, which is just wow. Yes, to move done.
So King David not messing around. He was P2 last week, trying to be P1 this week, but he's going to have to pass his teammate of Mamba.
I'm pretty sure he's in the lead, King David. Yeah, he pretty much is when his teammate comes in. Well, actually, no, Mamba doesn't even have to come in if he didn't want to. But pretty much it is
now he's in the lead, though. Technically speaking.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Mamba going a little bit wide out of turn number 5, but look at this though, we got a 5-car battle. 5 cars battling for the lead, and there goes Crowhawk making a move on the outside of Odd Ivan, and with those fresh Dr. Feelgoods, I think that he is going to have a nice easy time, and there he goes into 4th place, maybe going to go and get 3rd, not this time though.
The 2 Red Bulls going side by side. On the exit of turn 3, who gets the DRS? No one, because it's not enabled yet, but King David gets to move in on his teammate, moves himself up to P1. There's a massive incident. That's how many cars was that? That was 4 cars. Langfeld, Adams, Mauser, Jonas are all out. With no safety car either.
Hey, I don't think at this point that we are complaining, but we only got 10 drivers left in this session, so pretty much you're going to get points now if you're still alive. It's lap 22 of 36.
That is a massive incident. That's 4 cars there, pretty much blocking the track by the looks of it on the mini-map. And we've got no safety car because of it. Wow, okay.
There we go.
And now we get a safety car.
5 safety cars. Man, so we got 2 more to your limit.
Yeah, we have. That was a big impact for those 4. It must have been. I'm guessing they were maybe going 3 or 4 wide on the exit of turn 3.
It took forever, though, to deploy that safety car. I think that the FIA might have finally started to
I'm
control
gonna go
these.
See if there's any debris on track. Going with King David on board. Yeah, you can see there's that. There's a lot of tyre marks. No debris though. Yeah, a lot of tyre marks there.
My goodness. So
Jonas is the big one out. Them four. Jonas is out. Both of the Haas's made contact in the same incident, and the Aston Martin of Lancard. But yeah, the big name there is Jonas. He's out.
So let's take a look at our point standings here and see just how many championship competitors were just taken out. As King David goes into the pits, so does Mamba. So the Red Bulls are going to be double stacking. Is Train Game Wow in the pits as well, or is he staying out? He is staying out. So Train Game Wow, he's our points leader going into today's race. He is still out there. X Gamer is still out there. And to Jonas is none out there. Neither is Son of Fubar, who is in P5 in the standings. Tom Goproff, he is in P5 in the race, though, and he finds himself in 4th in the championship standings with 76 points. So out of our top 5 in the standings, what is that, 3 of them left out there?
4 of them. 3? 4? 3. 3, yes. 3.
See, I always have to ask my co-commentators the math questions because I failed too many math classes in high school.
I just passed maths at school as well. Just passed it.
Funny story, actually. In high school, I think this was my junior year, I slept every day almost in my biology class. Don't recommend it, by the way. I'm saying that
thought it was
strictly for professional
biology.
purposes.
Yeah, I didn't like science in any way. But yeah.
I slept through it every day, and I still passed that class with like a 70-something. Granted, I did have a friend who really helped me out. However, in my geometry class that same semester, I actually put in half an effort and barely passed that class, barely passed the final. I passed the final with like 5 points to spare, or I would have failed the class. So I'm just terrible at math. It doesn't matter what happens.
Safety car's in, Train Game Well's gone. Roadhawk doesn't really stay with him, but Train Game's on medium tyres. A lot of these guys pitted for new, fresh set of soft tyres as well, so he might come back to him towards the end of the race here. Train Game Well, he's going to have to try and stay consistent as he can.
So, surprisingly, this has put Crowhawk in a fantastic position. Lap 25 and 36. The only thing that's going to come back to bite him is the fact that he is on soft tires. And there's no way that those tires are going to be lasting 17 laps, which would be the required amount for them to last without him pitting. But if memory serves me correctly, we have had a safety car or two during this race. So maybe Crowhawk can get lucky, get another one, and come into the pits, get a new fresh set of softs, and be okay.
Yeah. Of course, with only 10 drivers now, it's going to be increasingly more that we're not going to get our safety car. But yeah, we'll wait and see. 12 laps to go in this race, so it's still possible.
And Odd Ivan almost got into the back of Crowhawk going into that last corner. He was able to avoid hitting him, though. So already we're seeing the different driving styles between these two drivers. Looks like Crowhawk might be trying to back up the corner a little bit more, while Odd Ivan carries a little bit more speed in there. Looks like there might be an issue now. So, Mansler, are you still with me?
I'm still with you.
Okay, there may possibly be some type of connection issue. We will update you as soon as we have any information on that. Pin dropping way back. What happened to Pin there in the Williams?
I have no idea, but it just seemed like he's burning on turn 3. Turn 3 is a difficult corner.
Oh, and we got a side-by-side battle between Mamba and X-Gamer through turn 4. Who's going to win out on this one? Looks like Mamba for now, but X-Gamer's got the preferred line, and he clears the Red Bull just barely, though. Almost some contact, but they keep it clean. And X-Gamer goes into P7.
Yeah, good move there from X-Gamer. Next up for him is King David.
And that allows King David a little bit of breathing room out the back, which I'm sure he welcomes because now he can set his sights on Tom Goproff in that McLaren in P5. King David, of course, a reserve driver today, reserving for Yeast in the Red Bull. But he finished in second last week, and the times that he has shown up, we have seen that King David does have
Sorry
some pace.
to interrupt you. Crowhawk has easily got past Train Game well. Crowhawk moves up himself up to P1 without a penalty as well, so Crowhawk might be the potential winner today.
And let's see what Ivan's going to be able to do. He's got the DRS on Train Game Wow. And Train Game Wow's, of course, got DRS on Crowhawk as well. Neither of them able to make a move, so it's still a 3-car battle for the lead. But you got to remember, though, Mansell, with 7 laps on those soft tires, Crowhawk is at a bit of a disadvantage to these guys behind him.
Yeah, it depends if you can keep this kind of gap to King David and the guys behind. So King David is pretty much the first proper target you need to look out for because he's on the freshest set of soft tyres. But Crowhawk, just looking at standings, he's got 18 points to his name. King David's lost it. How did he save that? I do not know. He's only lost the position at the moment. Might be 2x gamer now. Yeah, Crowhawk only 18 points to his name. Not got a win yet either. X Gamer's going to go around the outside at turn 1 to get the move done, up to P6 now for X Gamer.
So King David in 7th, Mamba in 8th, X Gamer P6 with Tom Goproff. P5 just ahead of this little battle. Oh, and who is that? Bossy Gaming on the outside. Contact just a little bit maybe with the Red Bull of King David. Bossy Gaming into P number 7 now, not messing around whatsoever.
Train Game Wow gets the move done once again on Crowhawk.
And X Gamer gets the move done on Tom Goproff at the same time through turn number 4.
Yeah, a lot of action at the moment happening. And with these 10 drivers, Train Game Well getting past Crowhawk, got a yellow flag. Let's now pim out. Mamba round as well.
Is this going to be another safety car?
At the moment, by the looks of it, we don't.
And Mamba, he is back and rolling. Sector 2, yellow flag, but still no safety car. The yellow flag is for Pim. We should be okay, though. However, that's what we thought last time. X Gamer runs the fastest lap that time around.
Stronger Prof and X Gamer will go side by side. X Gamer's going to have to go wide. I don't know why. He's lost so much time. What's happened there for X Gamer?
We saw that out the back of his teammate of Martin. X Gamer not really having a good time around Austrian. Now, granted, it looks like he's going to get points regardless, which is good for his championship hopes. But you got to think, if this is the first race this season that he doesn't finish on the podium. Oh, and contact with Bossy Gaming and King David. Just a touchdown the straightaway. Bossy Gaming pushing the Red Bull. Now contact still as King David tries to, use that high line of touch, but can't do it because Bossy Gaming was there. Bossy Gaming does concede the position and lets King David go on ahead. But Bossy is maybe just a little bit faster.
Damage. I think X Gamer has damage. He's very slow. He does, yes, he has damage.
Is it the right side end plate? That's what it looked like to me.
Yes, it is. Right side end plate damage. That's why he lost so much time then.
Tom Goproff right on the back of King David for P5. He's having him look on the inside. Will he be able to get him through turn number 1? No, he does not. He has a look, but that's all he can afford that time around. He's going to have the DRS down this straightaway. Let's see what he's able to do. Lap 30 of 36. We're coming down to the wire here, and it's going to be for all the marbles here in just a moment. But Bossy Gaming, we saw how fast he was a couple of laps ago through this same corner, and he sends it on the inside underneath of Tom Goproff. Makes a little bit of contact. Tom Goproff has to go wide. Bossy Gaming into 6th place now. Has his sights set on the Red Bull of King David. Chugga chugga choo choo train, the DRS train. And Bossy Gaming, he doesn't care. He's still moving forward. Not in position, but he was able to close the gap just a touch on King David that time. But King David, he is got his sights set on Martin.
And the top 7 are all in this battle for P1 as well. So very close between these guys. All different age tyres as well. So yeah, interesting.
What I want to know, though, is how many of these soft tire runners are going to be able to make it to the finish. King David, Bossy Gaming, Mamba, and obviously X Gamer. But I don't see Crowhawk or Martin making it.
They are going to struggle with tyre wear at the end. Yeah, Crowhawk and Martin.
And the painful thing about that is they have no choice. They have to try. They literally have to try.
Divine's going to have a look at Train Game Well. They go side by side at turn 3. They both get the same kind of exit. Divine gets a DRS. With a DRS, less drag for Divine, and then retakes the lead in Train Game Well. Crowhawk's going to have a look.
And
at
that's
him
a
as
time
well.
penalty.
Yeah, time penalty there. Martin scuffed his exit there, and King David gets past him now.
So Martin in P5 at the moment. We'll see what he's able to do as he's starting to get a little bit closer to that car behind him. So going the wrong way is Martin, but going the right way is Bossy Gaming in P6. Maybe going to have a look for P5 on Martin. That's not really a corner that you're going to overtake on, though. So Bossy Gaming, he had a look, but wasn't able to complete the pass. Maybe down the front straightaway, he'll have a run on him. He got a run on him out of the final corner, so now they're in a dead heat down the front straightaway. But both of these guys, I think, has got the DRS. And into turn number 1, Bossy Gaming.
No.
Oh, and Martin just completely cut Bossy Gaming off there.
Yeah, he didn't give any room there.
Yeah, there was no room given whatsoever there.
Yeah, so they were side by side as well, so Martin had to give room. King David having a look at Crowhawk. Like I said, Martin and Crowhawk starting to struggle already. King David is going to try and have a look around the outside of King David, but he has to back out of it as Crowhawk kind of pushes him wide there. Crowhawk's flashing his red light, which means his ERS is low. I shouldn't really be saying that, but oh well.
No, you can say it. We see it. We can see it.
Yeah, this is a true point. So yeah, Crowhawk already starting to struggle. Oh, Divine with the penalty. That is not good news there. That means King David could be the potential winner today.
Now that's assuming King David does not pick up a time penalty as well. Lap 33 of 36, there's a lot of racing left to go. And these top 3 drivers all have time penalties, so they're going to have to find a way to get 3 seconds ahead of everybody else if they're going to be winning this race. King David looking underneath Crowhawk. Does a crossover through the hairpin, still can't get the job done.
And the top 2 are also fighting. It's train game well. Still side by side between the top 2. Crowhawk tries to get switchback move on King David. King David gets a better exit. And now they're side by side going through turn 5, I think this is. Crowhawk has the inside line, but again, he doesn't get very good exit. And they're still side by side between these 2.
Oh, in contact. Crowhawk spins. Has Crowhawk?
No,
he saves it. My goodness, that was close.
That was close. King David now moves himself up to P3. So now he's already there with the top 2 now. So it's his choice really if he wants to go to an attack on these 2, or if he just wants to stay behind him, because of course he will win it on penalties if he doesn't get a penalty.
And has King David won a race in any division in SFR before? I don't believe he has won in GP2. So this could be King David's first win ever for SFR. And oh my goodness, he wants to win it legitimately on track. He doesn't care about time penalties. It is 3 wide for the lead. Train game wow. Odd Ivan and King David down the straightaway heading into turn number 4. Now Odd Ivan on the inside of Train game wow. He's going to get the move done. Barely, but King David's going to follow him through for P2. So Train Game Wow dropping down now, dropping way down into P number 3. Odd Ivan in the lead. King David in second place. King David will inherit the lead if he keeps it clean, keeps it on the track, and is able to stay 3 seconds behind Odd Ivan unless he gets ahead. Those soft tires are really helping King David today. Lap 34 of 36. We are coming to 2 laps to go.
Yeah. So that's another one down for King David. Next up for him is Odd Divine. I think he should get the move done. Obviously, 20 lap old mediums now. Divine nearly spins it, but he keeps it with him. Divine with no DRS. King David, of course, with the DRS, will get the inside. Will go to the inside, and I think he will keep the move. I think Odd Divine will try and get the better exit. Train game well, trying to get the switchback move on Odd Divine. Doesn't really work. As now Odd Divine now gets a DRS on King David. He will come back at King David. Tries to go around the outside at turn 4. And now side by side between these 2. And Odd Divine retakes the lead for now.
And there was almost contact between those 2 through turn number 4, but they were able to hang on to it, both of them. And King David, he really does not need to pass Odd Ivan, and surely he knows this. So I don't understand exactly why he's been taking the risk that he has to get into first place. I mean, I understand there's a little bit of pride to be able to get the place legitimately on track, but the way I see it, a win is a win no matter how you come by it. So King David really does not need to pass on Ivan. He doesn't even need to fight Train Game Wow all that hard. He just has to make sure that he is within 3 seconds.
I think Train Game Wow looks closer than he is to King David to Divine, but Divine, this is kind of broke really early there, but now they're side by side between these two. Divine doesn't get a very good exit. Now it's side by side between Train Game Wow. Now it's been a 3 wide for these guys going down to turn 4 on the final lap. Is there going to be any contact? They might take some risks just because it's a final lap. Still side by side between Train Game Mode and Divine. This won't be for the win. King David hasn't got a penalty, so at the moment King David will get the win, but this is potentially for maybe P3 or P2 with these two. Train Game Mode gets the move done on Divine.
And just a couple more corners to go. King David, the only driver in the top 3 without time penalties. Train Game Wow and Odd Ivan fighting it tooth and nail down to the wire. And Train Game Wow will cross the line in first, but it's going to be King David who inherits the lead and wins his first race of the season in GP2. Martin gets into second place in the Ferrari, and third place goes to Train Game Wow.
The Train Game Wow pulling even more in the championship. X-Gamer, P8, Jonas, DNF'd. So that means Train Game will be pulling away in the championship once again.
And even though it's not a win, that is big help for him in his championship battle, especially considering that a handful of his competitors actually wrecked out today, to Jonas being probably the closest one to him. I believe to Jonas was in second place coming into today, and I'm willing to wager he's going to drop a bit after this race. But King David gets the win, Train Game Wow gets third, Martin in second. We'll talk to our top 3 drivers here in just a few moments' time.
And I think I got one out of my 3 predictions right. Train Game Wow.
And your official finishing results for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series Austrian Grand Prix is King David with the win, Martin in second, third is Train Game Wow, and Ivan in fourth, Tom Goproff in fifth, Crowhawk in sixth, Bossy Gaming in seventh, eighth is X-Gamer, ninth is Mamba, Pim in 10th to Jonas in 11th, Mauser in 12th, 13th is Adams, Lingfell in 14th, 15th is Son of Fubar, 16th is D-Max, Senna Martins in 17th, 18th is Norloser, and Toincoin in the 19th position. We only had 9 drivers, or no, 10 drivers it looks like. No, 9. I was correct. Yeah. 9 drivers finished the race today. Pim finished in P10. Not sure if he's going to get points or not. Not sure how close we were to the end of the race. I think the rule is 90% and you will get points.
Yeah,
so Pim may be okay and might have taken a point away from today. We'll have to wait and see. But regardless, the guys ahead of him certainly did. 1 through 9, that is for sure, especially King David, who, even though he's not full-time, still will get points in that reserve championship. Yeah. And, hey, he gets a win.
As soon as he comes full-time, we'll definitely see where he is in the championship. P2 last week, a win here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be about, I think that's works out 37 points or something like that. So it's about, he's definitely in the 30s anyway. So yeah, it's close with him where he's going to be in the championship once he becomes a full-time driver.
So just waiting for our top 3 drivers to join in our party, and hopefully we will be able to talk to them. There is Train Game Wow who is joined, just waiting on King David and Martin. So do you know if Martin and King David are going to be able to join?
I will ask them if they are going to join.
Well, we will give them just a few moments. And,
Just ask them if they're going to join or not.
Well, they have access to the party if they decide to. Of course, maybe they're not able to. We'll have to wait and see. But we do have Train Game Wow in here, so we'll go ahead and talk to him. So before we do, just please make sure that you've allowed your voice to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings, click Always Allow, and let me know when you're ready. Train Game, are we ready?
I'm always ready.
And I bet you are, especially after today. It was a huge roller coaster of a race for you. Time penalty, and I don't know how many times you may have came into contact with other cars, because it seems like there were so many safety cars out there that nobody got away clean. But ultimately, you finished in third, and you should retain your points lead. And even though it's not a win, I'm sure that you are happy with your podium.
Well, honestly, this really feels like a win. I was practicing for Austria and I thought, if I get into the top 10, it will be great. But I was getting a little bit tired of all the safety cars, and I think the level of some drivers were not really at the highest we have seen. But maybe it can change in the future. But that I stayed out on the last safety car because I knew my mediums would get to the end, and I also learned at this track that if you those on the softs, if you can't let them into their rhythm, they can't really use their soft. So I was trying to do this, and I found it also the same. And when I was in the lead in the exit of the hairpins and all the 90-degree corners, I was just backing them all up and then making a good exit as I could, and that really helped a lot. And well, that last lap I have to see on the screen because that was really madness with free wide going into turn 4 or 5 and side by side through the whole second sector. It was really crazy. I was also looking at who had a penalty or who not, and at some point I didn't really know how I would finish. So I was crossing the line and I was obviously quite happy that I won on track the race. But to finish third, it feels actually much better than last week where I won. But all in all, this is a really good day in Austria, and hopefully next week it could be kind of the same.
And how does this help your mindset as far as the championship is concerned?
To be honest, I'm not even thinking about it. Just after the race, I was looking where X-Game and Johnny's finished, and well, it was a good day, of course. We're only halfway through the stage, so it isn't really necessary to look at the standings because it can cause unnecessary pressure to your driving. But I must say I am looking to those two, but not really 100% of where they are, how fast they are. Just looking race by race.
Well, congratulations on third place today, Train Game. You ran a good race.
Thank you, and also congratulations to the P1 and P2 for Martin.
And we'll go ahead and talk to P2 of Martin. Martin, of course, we do got to make sure you've got your voice allowed to be shared. So go over to the party settings, click Always Allow, and let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I always do.
All right, so Martin, you are normally a reserve driver, but you found yourself in P2 today. So tell us, how were you able to get P2? Of course, it looked like time penalties definitely came back to benefit you there in the end.
Yeah, half the grid crash now always helps as well. So I have no idea what really went on there. As a reserve, you try not to get involved in too much wheel to wheel and cause anyone any unnecessary damage or anything like that. But I kind of found myself in a position where I had to race people on the last stint. There were so many safety cars coming out, and recently GP2 has a reputation of that, so I just stuck to my one-stop strategy And then you know that a safety car is going to come out later in the race anyway, which it did. And I went on soft tyres to the end. I think it was like 16 laps or something to do on a soft tyre, which is doable. And then at the end, I just kind of let the guys at the front, the front three, kind of race it out. Everybody's ERS light was flashing, and I was sitting on like 60% battery, so I had planned to attack them before the end of the race, but I made a mistake on traction out of turn 2, which put me behind Tom Goproff, and I had to fight to get past him again. So I kind of lost any opportunity to go higher up, but I don't think I would have won anyway. But yeah, I knew guys had penalties, so I didn't get too involved.
So walk us through your battle with Bossy Gaming. It looked like out of the final corner you might have went a little bit wide that allowed him to get underneath you, and it was a dead heat, but then contact in turn 1 kind of put it to an end.
So, yeah, I've already apologised to him in chat. He had the indicators next to my car, you've got the arrows, and we were side by side, and he had 3 red arrows there, but just before we got to the braking zone, it went from 3 red arrows down into 2, and it went slightly towards behind my car. So I thought that he had relented the position to sit in behind me and then get DRS up the straight, and then I saw that his car had spun. So yeah, that was a big mistake on my part. I have apologised to him for that. So yeah, I don't think it mattered overall in his position because he had 6 seconds of penalties, not to like make excuses or anything. But I think he would have finished where he finished anyway with his penalty situation. So I couldn't at least take a little bit of solace. I didn't ruin a victory for him or anything like that. So yeah, apologies to Bossy for that.
But it was a good battle up until that point, so at least we got that going for us.
Yeah, it was really quick. I don't know if he was on fresh or soft tyres or if he'd just been nursing his ERS or not. Tom Goproff, I think, had overtook me at that point, and he kind of raced me off the track a bit through the second sector, so my tyres were a little bit dirty, and he got a really good run on me into the third sector. That's what kind of caused all that. But I knew that I actually had good pace. I should have been in the top 10 with qualifying. I didn't get home from work until pretty late. So I didn't even get to practice. I just came on and joined the quali, and I was like half a second off. I know what I can do. But it's always fun to go around and race around no matter what. So yeah, I just enjoyed myself. And apologies to Mauser and Senna and everybody. I said that I would talk Dutch if I was on a podium interview, but I don't know any Dutch. Apologies for that.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish today, Martin. You ran a good race.
Thanks for the...
And Mansell, have you heard from King David? Is he going to join?
No, he's not, no. So that'll be it.
Unfortunate. Well, congratulations to King David anyway, and this was probably one of the more chaotic races that we've had the pleasure to commentate on, but definitely an entertaining race, if not a clean race. But with that, that is all the time that we have. So thank you to all the drivers that raced with us, everyone who watched the stream, and congratulations to our top 3 finishers. And until next time, good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Have fun, and goodbye.